Assalamu alaikum. In the previous lecture, we have discussed what is three-phase AC system, why do we need three-phase AC system. So in this lecture, we will discuss what are the advantages of three-phase AC systems. There are certain advantages of three-phase AC system over a single-phase system. These are, the first one is the output of three-phase machines is always greater than the output of single-phase machine if same size. So if the size of both machines is same, then the output of three-phase machines will be more than the output of the single-phase machine. So the second advantage is transmission of three-phase power is very much economical as it needs less copper or less conducting material as compared to single-phase power. So as we know, in three-phase, we can raise the voltage if we transmit the power at high voltage. So there will be less losses happening in case of three-phase when we will increase the voltage from low to high. So as we know, first of all, we generate three-phase power. So first of all, the first point is in power system is power generation. So we always generated three phases. After this we use three-phase step-up transformer. So after this, we use three-phase step-up transformer, three-phase step-up transformer. So by using the transformer, we will increase the voltage from low to high. So in case of transformer, so input of the transformer is basically low voltage. So by using the step-up transformer, we increase the voltage from low to high. So after this, we transmit the high voltage by using the transmission line. So this is the transmission line. So when the value of the voltage is high, so in case of transmission line, the value of the voltage is high. When the value of the voltage is high, then the value of the current is low. So the value of the current is low. When the value of the current will be low, then as we know, losses is basically equal to 3I square into R. So when the value of the losses, when the value of the current will be low, then the value of the losses will be low in the transmission line as well. So as we know, the relationship between the current and the losses is directly proportional. So when the value of the current will be less, then the value of the losses will be less as well. So due to this, copper or less conducting material we use as compared to single phase power because the losses in the transmission line are less because the value of the voltage is high. So this is the second advantage of the three-phase system over single-phase system. So the third advantage is rotating magnetic fields can be generated in three-phase supply. So three-phase machines are self-starting machines. We cannot produce rotating magnetic fields in case of single-phase supply. Hence, single-phase machines are not self-started. So as you can see here in this figure, so there are three number of phases. So as we know, the phase difference between any two phases is 120 degree. And in case of three-phase system, the magnitude of all the voltages will be same and the phase difference will be 120 degree. So in case of three-phase system, we can produce the rotating magnetic fields. And in case of single phase supply, we can't produce the rotating magnetic field. So hence the single phase machines are not started machines because there are not rotating magnetic fields. So the three phase machines are the self-starting machines because by using three phases, we can produce the rotating magnetic fields. So the very important point is, you must have seen a single phase motor in our home, and that is nothing but a fan in a capacitor is provided. So as we know, in our homes, the single phase motor we are using in fan. So in fan, we are using single phase motor. So in case of single phase motor, capacitor is provided to provide one more phase. So in case of single phase motor, so capacitor is provided to provide one more phase, to provide one more phase. So in our homes, we are using a single phase motor in fan. So as we know, in fan, we are using capacitor. Capacitor is basically provided to provide one more phase. So actually we are having two phases. So it means single phase we are supplying, and the second one phase we are creating by using capacitor. So there are two phases. So there are two phases. Over there, and because of this, whenever we are having more than one phases, rotating magnetic field can be produced. So by using the capacitor, we are creating one more phase. So due to this, rotating magnetic field can produce. So this is the third advantage of three-phase system over single phase. So as we know, so this is the advantage of a three-phase supply. Because the three phases are there, so the rotating magnetic field can be produced, and because of that, no need to be arrangement like single phase motor. So in case of three-phase supply, the rotating magnetic fields will produce. So in case of single phase motor, we are using the capacitor to create one more phase, and due to this, rotating magnetic field can produce. So this is the third advantage of three-phase supply over single phase supply. So the next advantage is, so the next one is, suppose I am having a three-phase supply. Suppose I am having three-phase supply. So let's suppose I am having a three-phase supply. If I have only two wires, if I have only two wires, so I can get a single phase supply. By using the two wire, I can get single phase supply by using two wire. So this is the fourth important point. So let's suppose I am having a three-phase supply. If I have only two wires, I can get single phase supply from three phase. Meaning three phase give rise to three single phase supply. So three phase is basically give us three phase supply is basically gives us three single phase supplies. Three single phase supplies. So it means we can use single phase supply from the three phase, because there are three number of phases and one wire will be neutral wire. So in case of three phase supply, we can use as a single phase supply as well. So in case of single phase supply, we cannot create three phase supply from single phase supply. So this is another advantage of three phase supply. So in case of three phase supply, we can use single phase supply as well. So in case of single phase supply, we can't create three phase supply from single phase. So this is the fourth advantage of three phase system. So the last important point is, let's suppose I am converting this three phase supply into DC. Let's suppose I'm converting three phase supply into DC. So the curve or the DC I will get is much more smoother than that of a single phase supply. So in case of, if we are converting three phase supply into DC, so in case of three phase, the curve or the DC I will get is much more smoother than that of the single phase supply. So what does that mean? So what does that mean? Ripple will be very low. So in case of three phase supply, when we will convert into DC, then the ripple will be very low. So the rectified DC output voltage is smoother. So the rectifier DC output voltage is smoother. Having less ripple if number of phases are increased at the supply side. So it means when the number of phases will increase, then there will be less ripple. So this is another advantage of three phase system. So these are the certain advantages we are having in three phase system compared to single phase system. And it is obvious that whenever there is a high power requirement, we should go to three phase supply. So whenever there is a high power requirement, we will use three phase supply. So that's it for this lecture. So in the next lecture, we will discuss the three phase generated voltage. So if you like this video, kindly subscribe this channel. Okay, thank you.